Hey, welcome back to the shop. Boy, have I got something cool to show you. Check this out. I got the first bit, almost a half a wall of the interior poplar up. And these are the pieces that I didn't want to use on the outside because they had too many splits and knots and things like that, and they weren't going to be, be as environmentally tight. They're going to let too much stuff through or let too many bugs in or whatever. So I kind of culled these out and saved them, but this looks freaking cool. It's just really nice. It goes back a little ways, even back behind the ladder. But yeah, it's busy. It's really interesting. Well, this is, and the reason I'm doing this rather than like, behind my workbench, is because I need to stack material vertically in here that's currently in my existing garage. I need to move it out here, so get this part up first. I have I have these boards here. These like 1, 2, 3 stacks. This is all 2 by etc. 16s are leaning out here, and I got some 10s and 12s and 8s floating around back here. But I'm sorry, the 16s are on the floor still. Those are 12s that are leaning. So this is all the poplar I had from my first stack. The big stack that was in the backyard. I still have about 15 boards, about 3 layers, maybe 5 layers. So 15 to 25. I don't know exactly how many are out there yet. And it rained and it's muddy and I'm not going out there tonight. But they're all... I kind of picked through those already, and they're all kind of more like this. So, yeah. So this looks really great. It's really high. Like if I walk back over here, I can't even close to reach the top of this. I'm 6'4", and I can reach over 7 foot high, and I can't even get to. I had to get a ladder to put that last 2 rows up there. So it's pretty cool. I'm loving being in here. It's just great, and we're gonna get moved out of the existing garage. I promised my wife she can have that space. This is April the 15th. She can have that first of next month. So I got to get a significant amount of material out of there, including my table saw, a workbench, a whole pile of lumber, and a lot of trash. Not trash. We've gotten a lot of the trash out of there. Basically, all the trash is out. Basically what's in there is cut scrap. So I got to get all the scrap out of there. So I'm not gonna be at least too entirely late doing that. All right, so I've talked a lot about French cleat systems, and here's my my current thing that I'm doing. This is for large, vertical storage, sheet storage, and 2-bys and whatever. I've put a rail at 6 foot and down at 3 foot. Slightly less than 1 meter, slightly less than 2 meters for the non-imperial among you, and slightly less being it's about 5-6 centimeters, I think, short of a meter. Do your own math. I don't do math. I'm off hours. Anyhow, so I got I got like some of the sheet goods moved back here. A couple of the just representative pieces of poplar here. I'm going to move like the 2-bys that are down here. I'm going to move those 2-bys down here and put the 2-bys probably in here. Then I can have some poplar there. I don't need to, if it's all just tall stuff, then I can, I can pick this up and it's just sitting here, right? So I can pick this one up and put it up on the tall one and give myself another higher vertical storage. Now, the one thing I did find about this is, and I wasn't sure about this, so I figured I'd try it. These don't hold very well laterally. So if I want to have, a fair amount of material here that's going to be leaning, I can push this, off axis with just a fingertip. So I'm going to have to just throw a screw in here, right? And just throw a 3-inch screw in there. It'll go through here, and into here. And so that'll hold it all, but I can kind of move all these pieces around as I need them, high and low. You know, I could throw one up higher too, so it's working pretty good. I basically did all that on the bandsaw. I went and got my my miter gauge cutter from my table saw, which fortunately this track just fits in here real nicely. So did a lot of cutting on the bandsaw with that. Didn't really need to show anybody how to cut square pieces. The 45s on here are kind of interesting. You have to tilt the table down, and then some shenanigans with, I don't really have a good fence system, rip fence for this, so I'm like just C-clamps and I have this old, it's a really bad attempt at a resaw fence, but it works fine for just, you know, putting it on here with a couple of C-clamps, and works as a rip fence for narrow boards. It's fine. I have used it for resawing. One of the things I did was to see whether or not, you know, I could resaw a whole wide piece of poplar. So this used to be a full inch thick, and now it's not real even. It's first try. I was using a different fence than that, and it warped a little. You can see the curve down there, I think, since I cut it. But it was an attempt to see how well it would cut, and quite honestly, that's the cut off the bandsaw. It's really good. So my thoughts is to use this as horizontal lap siding on the outside. We'll see whether or not that works. I haven't actually tried it yet. So, but coming together, the reason I needed to get this storage up and happening is I need to move all the materials I have in the old shop over to this one. I promised my wife she can have that old space for sewing 1st of May, and it's the 19th of April, so I need to get on with it. Moving out of the garage. I don't think I've seen that part of the floor in about 20 years. I've only been here 19 and a half, so I probably have seen it in 15 years. I have way more plywood than I remembered. These whiteboards here, they're like almost an inch thick and like 11 ply or something. They're really nice. It was like some road sign or something. Somebody gave me 2 sheets of that stuff. We've used it for all kinds of things. And here, I can walk over to the shop and look at the accumulated storage now. We're getting there. I have a lot of plywood. And I threw some stuff out. I threw out all the little crap pieces and whatever. There's all the poplar, and this is this in here is 2x stuff. I haven't moved all the 2x's from down there yet. This is like 1x's and molding, and then sitting out here on the end is some of the bigger heavy stuff. I had these 2 giant planks. This is oak and this is maple, and this is definitely, hey, stay. And that's a piece of oak that wants to come visit. This is an interesting piece. Get back in there. Stay. Okay. Those beams are huge. I got some ideas of what to do with this maple. I think it's maple. I need to take a hand plane to the edge and see what it really is. I think it's maple. But they're both just giant beams. And I still have a bunch of mahogany. That's what this long stuff is. This came off of a friend of mine's porch. And we've used mahogany for all kinds of things. And then this bed frame I made for my friends Mike and Julie. And it needed some repairs when it came back from the camping trip, Penzic camping trip last summer. So it's where I can actually get to it now. It was kind of buried for a while. So getting some storage in order. Even with my 10-foot ceilings, I'm actually running into some height limitations, which is kind of wild. But I got to the floor in that one space My goal is to get back to that floor and get the table saw, drill press, and maybe that workbench out of there in the next week or so. So I'm on track. Saturday the 22nd. I spent a couple of hours in here and got a lot of stuff out. We're about to decide what to do with the scrap pile. All needs to just get burned, I think. Figure that out. Drill press is about to leave. You might need some bowling balls. I got duck pin, whole pile of duck pin bowling balls. About 5 pounds. And that's scrap for making Damascus steel out of. And yeah, making a little headway. So cleaning out the old garage, we found this oak tabletop. I didn't get a before shot, but it was pretty cruddy. And a little bit of grease and some sandpaper, and at least one coat of got one coat of boiled linseed oil on it. Beautiful old oak tabletop. Going to refinish it for the wife for a cutting table in the sunroom. Just realized I missed a spot. Have to go back and catch that. But that's going to come out real nice. And I absolutely love the lighting in here for working on this. This is just great. You know, effectively you get kind of no shadows and natural lighting, and the daylight long LED strips in here are great. So I got at least one, I kind of feel like I've done one real woodworking project in here. It's really nice.